And welcome everybody, this is FXPassion broadcasting you live on YouTube. How is everybody? Happy Monday! This is Forex Trading for Beginners and our goal for you is to become consistently profitable. Let's check the time, Melbourne. I don't know if you have the time changed. We did this, okay? Melbourne 2 a.m, Singapore 11 p.m, Madrid 4:01 p.m, New York and Toronto 10 a.m, and London, England 3 p.m. GMT. So our goal for you is to become consistently profitable, minimum 3 months, right? Knowing when, how and why you make and or lose money. Afternoon, Miguel, how are you? Terence, 8 a.m, Alberta, Canada. Hello, Terence. Great. You should not be allowed to trade with real money until you reach the goal. What is the goal? To become consistently profitable. And if you are not going to listen to us, here is the risk disclaimer. Don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose, and the webinars are not investment advice. Next week, everybody, next week we have the so-called trading week, okay? Next week we are not going to learn anything, but we are going to look for trading opportunities, okay? So next week, every month from January to December, every month, last week is the trading week, where we are learning how to look for trades, trading opportunities with what we have learned. So we are in February, right? So we are going to apply market structure, highs and lows and trends from January, plus trading support, resistance and pivot points from February. So this is going to be next week. However, the webinars are not investment or trading advice, everybody. They are for educational purposes only. Your job is to question everything and don't be fooled after you understand and master all the things. Trading is 80% emotional and only 20% technical. So in order to be successful trading, you need to have your mind, set of rules and your heart in the right place. Remember, if being consistently profitable is difficult for you, you probably still have things to learn, and if your way is not working, why don't you try ours? Ours, I mean maybe mine, maybe Dogdaws, maybe Wheezes, maybe sky is the limits, right? We are different traders with different strategies and different experiences. And remember, 90% of traders who makes it between the 3rd and the 5th year of learning. For additional coaching or training or just questions, everybody, send questions to email, Skype, contact or LinkedIn. That being said, let's dive into the live markets. And I received an email. Passion, I understand market structure and trends, but I don't understand support, resistance and pivot points. Can you do a recap? Yes, sir. Hideki, 10 a.m. Toronto, Canada. How are you, Hideki? Nice to have you here. Okay, so everybody, if you have a currency pair that you want that we check, just type in the chat box. If not, we are going with mines, okay? So let's check NZD CAD, right? NZD CAD. If you want, you can put yours in the chat box, please. Okay. So, quick recap, everybody. Okay, quick recap. Very easy. Sometimes we complicate too much, I know, but very easy. So, number one, we use market structure as a beginner trader, everybody. We use market structure to define the overall general trend. Okay, this is number one. Nothing complicated, quite easy to understand. And I'm going to show you in a minute in the live on the live chart. Okay, so if you're a beginner trader, together with us from January, we learned about the market structure. Number two, we use trends inside the market structure to identify high probability trades. Okay, now we talked about this. Oh, can I trade retracement? Yes, you can, no problem about this. We use trends inside the market structure to identify high probability trades. And now number 3, right? It's not that difficult, everybody, just follow the simple steps. 3, we need to identify support / resistance / pivot point levels, because the market will, okay, and we have 3.1, or react at the support / resistance / pivot point, or 3.2 is going to push. I'm going to show you in just a second. Is going to push the market at support / resistance / pivot point. Okay, so January and February, there is an echo in the sound. I'm sorry, Miguel. Does anybody have echo, or just Miguel? How is the sound, Terence and Hideki? Is the sound okay? Or you have echo too? Okay, everybody, so as a beginner trader, January and February, next week we are starting the trading week. We are going to no echo, okay? Thank you, Terence. Thank you, Hideki. So next week we are going to trade, right? So far, if you're a beginner trader, everybody, number 1, we use market structure to define the overall general trend. 2, we use trends inside the market structure to identify high probability trades, right? And 3, which is a little bit more complex, we need to identify support, resistance, and pivot point levels, because the market will or react at support, resistance, and pivot point, or number 3 is going to push the market, right? So it's going to go faster. Now, if this is the uptrend, okay, just this, and then we are going to check the live charts. If this is the uptrend and you have the uptrend line to confirm your uptrend, right? So ready structure, and inside the structure you are going to have trends and trends inside trends, right? So let's color code this in blue, okay? And market moves in extensions and retracements, until on the monthly chart is going to reverse, okay? So what do we call high probability trades? Well, high probability trades are those here and those here. Those are the high probability trades. Passion, why is that? Well, simply because when you are trading together with structure, okay, which is red, then you are trading together with the general overall general trend. This is why. Okay, it's pure logic, nothing so complicated, right? It's common sense. Can I trade retracements? Yes, you can. You can trade retracements, right? But you need to address that retracements are riskier, okay, because you are going against the overall general trend, and sooner or later you are going to lose because the market is going to reverse, right? And of course, oh, Passion, but you are going to lose also when the market swifts from an extension to a retracement. Yes, that's correct, but you need to remember the one simple rule, okay? This is the overall rule when talking about structure. It's a rule about structure. Extensions are bigger, okay, than retracements. Okay, if we are talking about trading success, everybody, extensions are bigger than retracements. I hope my English is okay. Hey Mark, same here in Toronto. Okay, great. Mark, hello Mark, how are you? Okay, extensions are bigger than retracements. So what does this mean? This means that if you are a beginner trader and if you are trading retracements, right, and you are trading retracements, if you are not good enough, you are most likely going to burn your account. Okay, this is why this is so important. For the beginner. I'm not talking about professionals or traders with 5+ experience, okay? I'm talking to beginners, like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever, okay? So it's better for the, not that you can't, you can, of course, but if you're a beginner, it's better to wait and trade trends together with structure. Okay, you are going to have a higher probability chance. Those are the high quality trades so far. Okay, so and number 3, so this is number 1, number 2, number 3, the market is going to, I'm going to clean a little bit up the chart. Okay, the market is going to react. The market is going to react. It's just an example at a pivot point, just an example, okay? Could be a pivot point or could be resistance up here, okay? Let's color code in red, resistance, okay? Or and yes, could be a pivot point. This is, let's color code this in this color, okay? Could be a pivot point, right? Could be a resistance, so the market is going to react at pivot point, resistance and supports, or the market is going to push when it finds support, right, or a pivot point. Or so if you are going against resistance or you are going against the pivot point, the market is going to react, right, it's going to retrace. But if you are trading with the pivot point and with support, then the market is going to push, right? And quite easily we are getting caught in some downtrends. Just an example here, because we are trading from the daily chart, 4-hour chart, 2-hour chart, whatever, and then when the market is going to find that pivot point or support, then the market is going to push the market higher. Okay, this is very briefly, everybody, okay, a recap from January and February, and next week we are starting the trading week. In March we are going to learn other things, but we are trying to build your knowledge and we are trying to make you understand how things are linked together. When we are going to learn about the Fibonacci's, if you didn't learn support and resistance, you are going to have difficulties to understand the Fibonacci's, everybody. Okay, now this is theory. Let's check. Oh, we are here. Okay, I'm going to open a new chart. EuroCAD daily chart. Okay, so this is theory. Number 1, we use market structure to define the overall general trend. EuroCAD daily chart. Tell me, everybody, are we, this is the daily chart, EuroCAD, are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? EuroCAD daily chart, are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? And don't be shy, everybody, there is no right or wrong, just different. Miguel says downtrend. Are we in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend? Are we maybe in a sideways channel? Mark says down. Okay. Anybody here thinks that we are in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend or are we? I think it's ranges. Okay. So number one, we use market structure to define the overall general trend. Okay. So higher lows. Okay. Dwight, Terence, Hideki, Mark, and Miguel. What are we? Are we in a general overall uptrend or are we in a general overall downtrend? What are we? Are we in a general overall uptrend or are we in a general overall downtrend? Dwight says uptrend. Okay. So this is what you see as a beginner trader, right? Now, why are different answers? Trendline joined the turnos, high shows downtrend. Okay, so why do we have different answers, everybody? It's simply because some of you are looking at this to define the trend. Some of you are looking maybe at this to define a trend. Some of you are looking to this to define the trend, right? And Miguel says downtrend, okay? So number one is structure. Okay, let's see who is right. Number one, if you are a beginner trader, you need to compress the chart as much as possible. Okay, as much as possible, and find the starting point of the overall trend. So you are going back in time, and if you don't see, if you can read the chart, everybody, you go from the daily to the weekly. Okay, one time frame higher, and now this picture clarifies. Yes, this picture clarifies a few things, right? This is EuroCAD, the weekly chart, and what can we do, right? We can draw a downtrend line like this and color code this in black, right? And oh, I cannot see. No problem. If you have problems reading the chart, let's go on the monthly chart. Okay, so right now this is the monthly chart. Okay, so from the monthly chart, what can we see? We can draw structure, and it's high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, and so this is the structure, and we can draw even a downtrend line, right, to confirm. Okay, everybody. So, and we said that the monthly chart is waving between the two bands, right? The upper band and the lower band, because countries have contracts and they most likely are going to honor the contracts. Okay, so we are going to clean up a little bit the chart. So if this is structure, the down structure, and we are here, right? I'm going to clean up a little bit the structure, and here the market broke our downtrend line. Do we agree, everybody, that the market broke our downtrend line? The market was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and it reversed, right? So the market was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and it reversed in some point in time, and it's making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? Do we agree on that, everybody? T. Smart, Terence, Miguel, Mark, Terence, Dwight, Hideki, Do we agree that the market changed? We are on the monthly chart, this is EuroCat, and the market broke our downtrend line. It was making lower lows, lower highs, and right now it's making higher highs and higher lows. Do we agree on that? You can say yes, you can say no, you can say I don't agree, everybody, right? You can say I don't know, no problem. Do we agree that the market broke our downtrend line and changed? Okay, so if this is the monthly chart, so this price action here, just for the structure sake, is not, Hideki says yes, Miguel yes, okay, just for structure purpose, it's not important anymore, okay? So I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to clean up the chart, clean up, okay, remove, okay, remove. So this was the downtrend line, and now from the monthly we are going to jump back to the daily chart. Okay, let's compress the chart. Let's compress the chart. Compress. Okay, so here was the downtrend line break, right? Number one, we use market structure to define the overall general trend. We are still here, and as you can see, everybody, if you are a beginner trader, you are going to notice two things: that you have structure like this. Okay, this is structure high, structure low, okay, structure high, higher high, structure low, higher low, and just for a few pips, another structure high. Okay, so take a look at this theory here. Okay, take a good look at this theory, what you should be doing. Okay, as a beginner trader, it's not a must, it's a should. Okay, you can trade retracement, no problem, but if you want to enter high probability trades, right, you should be buying the uptrend, right, when the structure is up. So this is structure. Okay, you have structural higher highs and higher lows. I'm not talking about trends yet, just structure. You have structure higher highs, higher lows. Do we agree on that, everybody? That we have on the daily chart, if you compress the chart, you can see structure, the structure of the price movement, making higher highs. AB, yes, okay. And as a beginner trader, everybody, what else you can see? You can see that you have trends, right, inside the structure. So we're going to color code this in red. So inside the structure you have trends, higher highs, higher lows. I'm not going to color code every. And then you have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, which is the retracement of the structure, the retracement of the up structure. And then you have back again higher highs, higher lows, right? And then you have lower lows, lower highs, again retracement, right? And this continues until here, right? And we're going to use slowly, we're going to enter to talk about the three trend lines. But as you can see, everybody, we started the webinar showing you this and asking you, oh, what are we? Are we in a downtrend or are we in an uptrend, right? And some of you answered, well, we are in a downtrend, which we are, don't worry, which we are in the short-term downtrend so far, okay? Some of you said, no, we are in an uptrend, which we are. We are also in an uptrend, don't worry. There is no right or wrong, everybody. There are just different ways to look at the market. Okay, and some of you said, well, just maybe we are in a so-called sideways movement, right? Which we are. Which we are potentially, right? There is no right or wrong. Okay, so you have the market in a structural uptrend, and the one who said that we are in an uptrend, you were right. Okay, we are so far in the short-term downtrend. The one who said that we are in a short-term downtrend, we are. Okay, we are. The market is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We are in a short-term downtrend. And for the one, right, who are seeing this, just maybe, okay, maybe we are in a so-called sideways channel. We need a confirmation for with another leg, which is okay, but right, there is no right or wrong. Maybe we are in a sideways channel, right? Passion, what should we trade? Great question. Great question. Everybody, if you don't see questions, I'm streaming with 2 platforms, okay? Not just YouTube. So, if you're a beginner trader, everybody, number 1, market structure, okay, is going to identify the overall general trend. So, if we are talking about rules, what should you trade? Well, you should be looking to trade the uptrend. Oh, but we are in a downtrend. Yes, we are. But if you are asking me, oh, what should we trade? Well, if you're a beginner trader, I'm going to clean up a little bit. If you're a beginner trader, okay, I'm going to draw a downtrend line right now. Okay, this was the short-term downtrend. The market was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Okay, and then for the one who said that we are in an uptrend, still this is the uptrend line, and we are at the uptrend line right now. Okay, so if you're a beginner trader, I would say wait for the counter trend line break, and these webinars are not trading and investment advice. But if it's confusing, everybody, if sometimes it gets confusing what we teach, stay with the rules, okay? Stay with the concepts. So use market structure to define the overall general trend. Check. The overall general trend is up. Number 2, use trends inside the market structure to identify high probability trades. Check. We did this, right? We did this. So we identified that the market was in a downtrend, right? Making lower lows, lower highs, and then come on. And then the market, come on. Sorry for this mess. And then the market broke the downtrend line, and the market is so far is in an uptrend, right? I'm going to clean up this red mess. Okay. Everybody, is anybody in here who thinks that no, we are not in an uptrend? Is anybody in here who disagree with the green uptrend line? Remember, one of the challenges in the beginning as a beginner trader is that you need to understand and learn that we have trends inside trends. So if this is the trend, and what confirms the trend? The trend line confirms the trend, right? Okay? The trend line confirms the trend. Sometimes the trend is going to speed up, right? The trend is going to speed up. And Paul says touched more than, yes sir, yes sir. And as a beginner trader, if you are trading on the 4-hour chart, 2-hour chart, the small time frames, right? Sometimes the trend, you are going to see this, you are going to see the market making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and you could be easily thinking that, oh, the market broke my uptrend line, which it didn't, everybody. Okay, it didn't. This is the uptrend line. This down here, this is the general overall uptrend line. And as a beginner trader, you could be thinking that on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour chart that you are in a downtrend. Okay, so is anybody in here? Yes, the market is making low passion, but the market is making lower lows, lower highs. Yes, yes, but this is a up retracement. Okay, this is not a downtrend, everybody. This is an up retracement, and this makes all the difference for the beginner trader. Okay, why? Well, simply because if you want to enter high probability trades, you should be patiently wait for the market to retrace and break the counter trend line, you know, and go with the extension. So counter trend line break, counter trend line break, right? Counter trend line break. And here also you should be waiting for the counter trend line break. This is not a downtrend, everybody. This is an up retracement. Do we agree on that? Any questions so far? Any questions? Mario, Paul, AB, Miguel, Hideki, Mark, Terence, Dwight. Any questions so far? Is this clear, everybody, what we are trying to do as beginner traders? As beginner forex traders? Does this make sense to you? And back again here, do you agree or maybe disagree that we are in an uptrend still? Okay, you can say yes, you can say no. I would prefer, if you don't understand, everybody, please write I don't understand. Okay, if you don't agree, please write I don't agree. We can talk, no problem. I don't want you to believe me, I want you to learn. Okay, don't just say, oh yes, because Passion said this must be right. I want you to learn, everybody. You need to understand this. Why? Because in about an hour you are going to be alone with your trading platform, okay, and you are going to analyze and start making decisions. So I want you to learn. This is why if you don't understand, especially if you don't agree, everybody, okay, oh, I read the book, or I did another course, or my mentor said that this is not, if you don't agree, just type in the chat box, no problem. There is no right or wrong, just different ways to look at markets. Okay, so we are right now in uptrend short term and the overall general uptrend. Okay, so this is also one of the currency pairs I'm looking at for about 2 weeks. Didn't enter yet, but I'm going to enter when the market is going to break this downtrend line. Okay, maybe at some news event, we don't know, we don't have the crystal ball, right? But in some point in time it's going to break this downtrend line, and then I'm going to enter long. I'm going to buy EuroCAD on the daily chart. Okay, remember, these webinars are not investment or trading advice. So if there are no questions, I have a question for you, everybody. Mario, Paul, AB, Hideki, Miguel, Carter, Terence, Mark, and Dwight. Question for you. If the market is going to break this uptrend line, are we still in an uptrend, or did we change from the uptrend to a downtrend? This is the question. This is going to show me if you understand or not. So question, if the market breaks the uptrend line, the red, are we still in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? Let's say we should be looking to buy the market, I mean to sell, right? AB says yes, it makes sense. I am wondering that how I could use ask bid volume at the counter trend lines. The ask bid volume at the counter trend line. Well, I'm not sure if I understand your question, AB, but when the market breaks the counter trend line, you can put your trade manually or you can put a buy stop order, okay? But I'm not sure by what you mean the ask bid volume, okay? So back to the question, everybody. If the market breaks for any reason, are we in a downtrend or are we still in an uptrend? And look at this picture. If it makes two lower lows and two lower highs, yes, we change the trend. Are you sure, Miguel? If the market does this, are we in a downtrend or are we still in an up retracement? Oh, Passion, that's confusing. It's confusing because there is a lot of information. We start explaining the concept. Yeah, I know. We started explaining the concepts in January, you know, and some of you are entering, you know, in February, and I know, if you can, rewatch the webinars from January when we talked about the market structure and everything, okay? Then judge if the trend changed. Oh, Hideki, I would see if the break is tested for several times. Mark trend identification depends on time frame. Hourly, daily, weekly, all have different trends. Okay. Yes, all of you are right. Now next question. Now depends if you are trading swing. Now the next question. If the market, all of you are right, congratulations. If the market breaks this uptrend line, the red, is it going to change the overall general structure? Okay? A question a little bit more specific. If the market breaks the overall this red uptrend line, is the overall general trend going to change? Banu says trend stayed the same way to enter the position. Congratulations, Banu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you compress the chart, everybody, if you compress the chart, right, I'm going to clean up a little bit. This is from the monthly. So even though if the market breaks the red uptrend line, we are still in an overall general uptrend. Okay, now let's talk about the three trend lines. So you have the confirmation. So if this is the market structure, okay, this is the market structure and this is the overall general uptrend line. Let's color this in green and make it big, you know, so no questions. This is the overall general uptrend line. I'm going to clean up the chart a little bit, so if not it gets confusing. Counter trend line, counter trend line, counter trend line. Okay, I'm going to clean up a little bit the waves, so we are going to stay just with the general overall trend, right? So as you can see, everybody, if you're a beginner trader, you can go short and you can go long, right? But remember, the high probability trades for the beginner trader are those that are going to go together with the general overall trend. Okay? So, and we are at number 3 right now. We need to identify support, resistance, pivot points, levels, because the market will 3.1 or react at the support or resistance pivot point? Mario says we need confirmation. Yes, sir. Or tree number 2 is going to push the market at support resistance pivot point. Right? So if this is EuroCAD daily chart and this is the uptrend line, again I'm going to change to the monthly for just a few minutes and try to identify where we are right now. So I'm going to clean up the chart a little bit, okay? I'm going to remove the structure. I'm going to leave just the uptrend line, the green. Remove, okay? I'm going to remove. So we are here right now from the monthly, and I'm going to color code this. Okay, so this is the pivot point here. Okay, this is a pivot point. Let me see if I have another one. This is also a pivot point here. Okay, so this is a pivot point. So we identified the market structure from the monthly. Go back to the weekly and daily. We identified the trends inside the market structure, and we saw that we have extensions, the uptrends, and we have retracements, the downtrends. We have established that the high probability trades are going to be the uptrends, right? That yes, you can short the retracement, yes. Okay, and right now we're going to go back on the daily. This is the third point, right? And from the daily I'm going to clean up the chart, so okay, and from the daily standpoint we are here right now. This is the current market. What are we seeing? Well, we are seeing that we have two pivot points, right? And this is the pivot point here, okay, just for you to understand. And we are seeing that we came from the upside down, right? Okay, the market can play around, and we are here right now. So 0.31, the market is going or react or is going to push, right? Now, because we are in an uptrend and the extension is up, this is going to provide us no guarantees whatsoever. We don't have the crystal ball. These webinars are not investment advice, but sooner or later the market is going to, it hit the pivot point already, is going to push up. Okay, this is summarized, everybody, what we are doing right now, January plus February. Okay, number 3, the market is going or react or is going to push at support resistance pivot point. Okay, now of course this is EuroCAD, and pivot points and support and resistance areas are not just lines. You cannot draw from the monthly chart, you cannot draw and say, oh, the pivot point is at 1.49. No, pivot point is an area. Okay, this is a pivot point, and you have another pivot point down there. Okay, so as a beginner trader, again, you can say no, you can say I understand. If you don't agree, please type in the chat box I don't agree. It would be perfect. But so far what we are waiting to buy this market. Okay, if the retracement breaks the trend line, then what? Great question. What do you think, Mario? Teacher Mario, what do you think? The trend line, which one, the red or the green? Great question. Which trend line, the red or the green? Which trend line, Mario? Great question. You are going, everybody, you are going to learn asking questions, okay? So don't be shy, we are here for you. Mario, what trend line? The black, the red, or the green? I'm going to wait for your answer, okay? So if you are referring to the green, okay, if you are referring to the green, then the market structure trend is changing, okay, because this is the overall general uptrend. If you are, I'm going to wait for your answer, Mario, but if you're talking about the green, as you can see, the market changed and you are in an so-called unknown territory, okay? But there is a thing you need to be careful about. Low, high. We need confirmation. Mario, would be so kind and type if you are referring to the green or to the red. Okay? In the meantime, I'm going to explain you what you need to be careful about. So, if this is structure, everybody, structure, okay? This is structure. And this is the uptrend line. What is the trend line for? Trend line, the uptrend line is a tool that confirms the overall general trend. Okay? This is what trend line are for. What you need to be careful is that sometimes the market is going to play around, right? And sometimes the market is going to break the uptrend line. Okay? But did it break the structure? You have structure high, structure low, structure high, structure low, structure high again, structure low. This is structure and this is structure high. Okay, this price movement in here, those are trends inside the structure. Those are just trends. Okay, this is the trend, it's not the structure, it's the trend. So I'm going to color code this in red. So when you are analyzing and charting your structure, we are in the retracement of the higher trend. Yes, sir. Yes, you are correct, Mario. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. So when you are charting and drawing your structure, you need to be careful not just to say here, oh, the market broke our structure, we are in a down structure. Well, wait a minute. The market broke the uptrend line. Yes, sir. But did it break the structure low? Did it break the structure low? It didn't, right? So the structure, everybody, remains the same. You are still in a structural uptrend. The market just decided to go find the price, right, into a deeper level. That's it. Now, if the market breaks the structural low, then this changes the story. But you need to wait for this, right? Why I'm showing you this? Because in here, I still don't know if, Mario, you were asking about the green line or the red, but if the market breaks the green line, you need to look left and you are going to see that the structure is still up, right? And why is this important? Well, because as a beginner trader, you need to be aware what are you trading, okay? And if you are going to lose, and you are going to lose, because we all lose sometimes, you need to make sense out of your losers, okay? So if you're going to sell because the market break the uptrend line but it didn't break structure, and in some point in time the market is going to, most likely, okay, in some point in time the market is going to reverse and go back up and you're going to lose, you are going to say, well, I lost because the market is still in an up structure and we are still in a general overall uptrend. as a beginner trader. Okay, if it breaks the lower structure, lower low, this is going to change the story then, but there are rules. Okay, even though most likely everybody, this no guarantees, okay, most likely this is not going to happen. It could happen if there are some fundamental news announcements that are saying that something very bad is happening in Europe and something very good is happening in Canada. Why? Because you have two pivot points. You have the pivot point number 1 and you have the pivot point number 2. And technically speaking, the market is going to react. Okay? The market is going to react. The question is where and how far, but it's going to react. Okay? If there are some bad news announcements, you know, for you, oh, Europe is crashing. I mean, France wants to get out of Europe and Italy is bankrupt and Germany is bankrupt and oh, Canada is booming, then okay, the market is going to change the picture. Okay? But if we are talking normal circumstances, right, nothing changes fundamentally, then this Euro-CAD pair is most likely destined to go up. Because we are at the pivot points, and as a beginner trader, so far we learned that the market is going to react, right, at the pivot point, which is an area. It's an area. Okay? Questions so far? Any questions, everybody? Any questions? Is anybody in here who does not agree to go long? Is anybody in here who agrees no, it's better or not better? Oh, can we go short? Yes, you can. You can. Especially if you're a scalper, everybody, we are in the short-term downtrend. But be aware that we are near the red uptrend line. We are approaching the red uptrend line. Okay? You can short if you're a scalper on the 1 hour chart, you know, 30-minute chart, whatever, but bear in mind that sooner or later this market is going to reverse, okay, most likely because of the pivot points. So number 1 we used market structure, we defined the general trend. Number 2, we used trends, we identified the trend. And 3, we have the pivot points. Okay, so question for you, everybody, why it's better or logical, or just why you think we should be waiting to buy the market? Teacher Miguel, what do you think? Why should we buying the market? And remember, everybody, we started the webinar like this. We start the webinar showing you the daily chart and asking you, what do you think? Are we in a downtrend? Are we in an uptrend? Or are we in a sideways channel? Okay? Now, you learned about the structure and the reasons why we think what we think. I'm going to repeat, everybody, we don't have a crystal ball, okay? Sometimes we win, sometimes we are wrong, okay? But the interesting question was, when you are alone, everybody, or with the group, if you are trading with a group, you are going to see different things, right? But in any way, you should be trading together with the trend. Paul is asking, does the software you are using automatically calculate pivot points? No, sir. No, sir. Paul, I'm using J4X platform to giving you classes and to teach. Okay? But no, the answer is not. It's not calculating. I need to go manually, Paul, on the monthly chart. Okay? I need to go manually. I need to manually draw the pivot points, and I need to manually to find the support and resistance levels. I need to do it manually. Okay? Just to be clear, Paul, this is not an indicator, okay? Because you have indicator here, I mean, add indicator, support, pivot points, Fibonacci. Oh, this is an indicator, okay? Pivot point at. I don't know if it's work on the monthly. I don't know if this is it, but oh, okay, it's showing something. So let's go on the 1 hour, 2 hour chart. See, this is an indicator, but this is not it. I'm talking about a different pivot point and different. I'm talking about pivot point, support and resistance from the monthly chart, not about the indicator, okay? But I need to do it manually. 4 more minutes. Oh, Mari says the red. Okay, great, the red. Okay, so if the market breaks the red, then what? Well, it means that the market is still in a short-term downtrend. Okay, Mario, we are still in a short-term downtrend, but the big picture, we are still in the overall. Most likely this is not going to happen, no guarantees, okay? This is what I think. But if it breaks the red, which the market can do anything it wants, right? The market is always right. And if this is going to happen, because pivot points are areas, then it's going to reverse in some point in time. We don't know when. Okay? Maybe it's going to we saw that the market is going to bounce at the next pivot point. Okay? And then reverse and go back up. Last question for you, everybody. Last question. Why do you think, I'm going to clean up the chart a little bit. Why do you think the second pivot point is stronger? Why this pivot point here down is stronger than this up here? Mari is asking, if the market is going to break the red line, what is going to happen? Well, most likely it's going to reverse in some point in time. So why this pivot point in here is stronger? Red, orange arrow. What do you think? What do you think, everybody? And remember, next week we are starting the so-called trading week. We are not going to learn anything in the trading week. We are just going to trade using what we have learned so far. Market structure, trends, inside trends, support, resistance, pivot points, counter, trend line. Yes, sir, Terence, congratulations. Yes, this pivot point is stronger because it's near the overall up trend line. Congratulations. Yes, sir. Great answer, Terence. Okay, everybody, our time is up. See you back tomorrow. No homework until tomorrow. Okay? And remember, next week we are going to have the trading week. Until tomorrow, stay strong and trade with passion. This is FXPassion signing off.